Snow after betrayal. If we were robbed, why did they only take my things? The wife began to suspect her husband was hiding something. Anna entered the building with a heavy suitcase, anticipating a long-awaited vacation after 3 weeks on a business trip. The conference in St. Petersburg had been exhausting but successful. Her presentation on new accounting methods had impressed her colleagues, and a contract with a major client was practically secured. She dreamed of a hot bath, a home-cooked dinner, and her husband's embrace. The apartment door was opened by Maxim, whose expression immediately put Anna on edge. He was clearly tense, anxiety in his eyes, his hands nervously fiddling with the hem of his t-shirt. "Anya, my love, I'm so glad you're home," he hugged her, holding on too tight, almost desperately. "I have bad news." Anna's heart tightened. Her first thought was that something had happened to her parents. What happened? She pulled back, searching his face. "Thieves broke in. The day before yesterday." Maxim ran a hand through his hair. "I came home from work, and the lock was picked." "A lock pick?" the police said. "Professionals." Anna slowly entered the apartment. Everything seemed in its place. The sofa, the TV, the bookshelves. Too much in its place for a robbery. What was stolen? Her voice sounded strangely calm. "Your mink coat from the closet." Maxim averted his eyes. "The jewelry from the box, 3 bags. I already called the police. They came, examined everything, took fingerprints. Said the chances of finding them are almost zero. These kinds of thefts are rarely solved." Anna walked into the bedroom. Indeed, the closet was slightly ajar. The jewelry box on the dressing table was empty. The gold earrings from her mother, the diamond ring, the necklace, all gone. The coat wasn't in its place. The bags were missing too. But Maxim's computer was on the desk. His game console was on the shelf. The TV hung on the wall. If we were robbed, why did they only take my things? Anna slowly turned to her husband. Maxim started speaking quickly, too quickly. "Well, it makes sense. Your things were easier to carry. Think about it. A coat, jewelry, bags. It's compact, valuable, easy to sell. My computer is big, heavy, you'd have to disconnect wires. The TV is bulky too. They probably wanted to get in and out fast. Grabbed the most valuable stuff and left. The coat is compact." Anna raised an eyebrow. "Maxim, it's a full-length mink. You can't even stuff it into a bag." "Well, easier than carrying a TV," he shrugged, but uncertainty crept into his voice. Anna walked to the front door, examined the lock. No visible damage. If the lock had been picked, it was done very carefully. "Where's the police report?" "The report? They said they'd give it to us later." Something was wrong. Anna felt it in her gut. 11 years of marriage had taught her to read her husband like an open book. His nervousness, his avoiding eye contact, his excessive talkativeness, it all screamed that he was hiding something. The next few days passed in strange tension. Maxim was overly attentive, making breakfast, massaging her shoulders, but he constantly checked his phone, flinched at calls. Anna watched but stayed silent. She returned to work, immersed herself in routine, but thoughts of the strange robbery wouldn't leave her. On the 4th day after her return, Lena called, her colleague and best friend. "Anya, where are you? Can you talk now?" "Yes, I'm at the office." "What's wrong?" "Listen, this might sound crazy, but I was scrolling through a Veto Russian classifieds site, wanted to look for some winter clothes, and I saw. It looks like your coat. A lot like it. You showed it to me at the corporate party last year, remember? With that unusual collar." Anna's heart beat faster. "Send me the link." A minute later, The photo was on her phone screen. Her coat. She would have recognized it among 1,000. On the lining was a small wine stain she'd gotten 2 years ago at New Year's. The seller, the pawn shop Golden Key on Baumanskaya Street. Len, where are you now? At the office. Why? Come with me. Right now. They met half an hour later near the metro. The pawn shop was 2 stops from the center, on the first floor of an old building. Inside smelled of mustiness and cheap perfume. Behind the counter sat a woman in her 50s with hair dyed red. Good afternoon. Anna tried to speak calmly. I called about the mink coat. Can I see it? The woman appraised her with a glance, then took some keys and went to the back. She returned with the coat on a hanger. It was her coat. 100%. The same stain on the lining, the same wear on the right sleeve. I'd take it, said Anna. But first, a question. Who pawned it? That's confidential information, the woman frowned. Anna took out her phone, opened a photo of herself in the coat. This is my coat. It was stolen from my apartment a week ago. I have a police report. Would you like me to call the investigator right now and arrange an inspection of your pawn shop? Or will you tell me who pawned it? The woman paled. Wait, I'll check the documents. She disappeared behind a door. Whispers and the sound of drawers opening were heard. She returned with a piece of paper. Maxim Andreevich Sokolov. We have his passport details. We made a copy. The ground fell away from under Anna. For a few seconds, she couldn't speak. Can I see the copy? The woman reluctantly handed her the sheet. The passport photo. Her husband's face. Did he pawn anything else? Anna's voice sounded foreign. Jewelry. Gold earrings, a diamond ring, a necklace. There were 3 bags too. Lena put an arm around Anna's shoulders. Anna stood motionless, staring at the copy of her husband's passport. Inside, everything burned, seethed with a mix of rage, pain, and humiliation. How much for everything? The coat and the jewelry? Will you hold them until tomorrow? All right, I'll come back tomorrow with the money. Or with the police if you try to hide anything. At home, Anna found Maxim on the sofa with the TV remote. He smiled at her, but the smile vanished when he saw her face. Anya, what's wrong? Shut up. Her voice was icy. Just shut up and listen. She took out her phone, showed the photo of the coat from the ad, and the pawn shop receipt. Explain to me how my stolen coat ended up in a pawn shop, where it was pawned by my husband. Explain how my jewelry got there, the jewelry that professional thieves took. Maxim paled. His mouth opened, closed, opened again. Anya, I can explain. Explain. And this time, I want to hear the truth. He lowered his head, clenched his fists. It's because of Dima. My brother. You know, he got into some trouble. I know, Anna cut him off. I know perfectly well about his troubles. That's why, when we discussed it before my trip, I gave you a categorical no when you asked for money for him. How many times have we bailed him out? 5. 10. He needs to learn to solve his own problems. It was a serious situation. Maxim spoke quickly, words tumbling out one after another. He borrowed money from people who don't joke around. They threatened him. Seriously threatened him, Anya. Beat him up. Demanded money. We met the day after you left. He was bruised, scared to death. Said they gave him a week. Just 1 week. And you decided to sell my things. Anna spoke very quietly, but steel ran through her voice. My personal things. Gifts from my mother. The coat I bought with my own money, which I earned. To stage a robbery, to lie about the police. I didn't know what to do. Maxim jumped up from the sofa. I didn't have that kind of money. Dima is my brother. I couldn't just abandon him. He would have returned everything. We would have bought your things back later. Bought them back. Anna burst into bitter laughter. This is a crime, Maxim. Do you understand that? Maxim sank back onto the sofa, grabbing his head. I'm sorry, Anya. Forgive me, please. I'll fix everything. I'll redeem your things. I'll get the money, sell some of my stuff. Just don't go to the police. I'm begging you. Anna looked at him for a long time in silence. This man had been her husband for 11 years. They had planned to have children. She thought she knew him. Thought she could trust him. Tell me honestly. Her voice trembled for the first time. Was it Dima's idea or yours? Maxim looked up, and she saw the truth in his eyes before he spoke the words. We came up with it together. Dima said your things would definitely cover the amount. And I agreed. Anna nodded. Now everything was absolutely clear. You and Dima will redeem my things within 3 days, she said. I don't know how you'll get the money. That's not my problem. Sell your things. Take out loans. Ask your parents. I don't care. Yes, of course, I'll do everything. I'm not finished, Anna interrupted him. After my things are returned, you have a week to move out of this apartment. Which, just for the record, is in my name. I bought it with my own money before we got married. Anya, no, please. Maxim took a step toward her, but she raised her hand. And lastly, if you return all my things, I won't go to the police. And on Monday, I'm filing for divorce. The silence in the apartment was deafening. Maxim stood with slumped shoulders, tears streaming down his cheeks. I love you, he whispered. If you loved me, you would never have done this. She walked out of the apartment, heard Maxim slide down the wall and begin to sob behind her. She didn't look back. In the elevator, Anna leaned against the wall and closed her eyes. Inside, it was empty. Not pain, not anger, just a huge, all-consuming emptiness. 11 years. All those years, plans, dreams, crumbled because of 300,000 rubles and a brother who never grew up. Her phone vibrated. A message from Lena. Where are you? I'm waiting for you at home. Made your favorite tea and pie. Come over. Anna exhaled. At least something real remained in her life. Real friendship, not built on lies. Outside, it grew dark. A light rain began to fall. Anna stood under the awning of the building, watching the drops break against the asphalt. In her jacket pocket, she felt the business card of a lawyer given to her by a colleague last week, a good divorce specialist, just in case. Back then, Anna had laughed, said everything was great between her and Maxim. She took out her phone, called a taxi. While waiting, she wrote to Lena. On my way. Thank you for being there. 3 days later, Maxim and Dima came to the pawn shop. Anna insisted on being present for the redemption. Dima looked disheveled and scared. He indeed had a fresh bruise on his cheekbone. He didn't dare look Anna in the eye. Maxim silently laid the money on the counter. They took the coat and jewelry. Anna checked every item. Everything was there. They stepped outside. Dima tried to say something, but Anna stopped him with a gesture. Don't even start. Just disappear from my life. Forever. He nodded and hurried away, hunched over, hands in his jacket pockets. Maxim stayed. I have 1 day left until the end of the week, he said. I've started packing. I'll stay at my parents' tonight. Good. Anya. Is there any chance you'll forgive me? Maybe not now, but someday. Anna looked at him. At this man she had once loved. Whom she had trusted. Who had betrayed her in the most banal and vile way. No, she said simply. There's no chance. It's not about the money, or even the things. It's because you betrayed my trust. Literally, you pawned it. And that can't be changed. She turned and walked toward the metro, clutching the bag with her things. She heard Maxim shout something after her, but couldn't make out the words and didn't look back. That evening, in her now emptied apartment, Maxim had moved out early. Anna sat on the sofa with a glass of wine. The apartment seemed bigger and brighter without his things. On the coffee table lay the divorce papers she had signed that morning. The divorce would be quick, no property disputes. The apartment was hers, no children, nothing to divide. Her phone vibrated. Maxim had written, "I took the last of my things. Left the keys on the hall table. Forgive me. I will love you always." Anna blocked his number and deleted the message. Then she put on that very mink coat, stood in front of the mirror. The coat fit perfectly, just as before. But something had changed. Not the coat. She had become stronger, tougher, wiser. And she knew she would never again allow anyone to manage her life, her things, her trust without her consent. Outside, snow was falling. The first snow of that winter. Anna turned off the light, sat in the chair by the window, and watched the snowflakes swirl in the light of the street lamps. Ahead was a new life. Without lies, without betrayal, without having to bail out someone else's brother at her own expense. Alone, but free. And it was beautiful.